chat is currently offline. Link. Link. You are currently on a link inside of web content. To click this link, press
Alright.
Option Space.
Let's
To exit this
go.
web area, press Control
Welcome
Option
back.
Shift up
That
arrow.
was weird. I thought my mic wasn't synced, but apparently it was. It's Blindside Sports. I'm Emmit Douglas. And I've been away past couple weeks. I won't have a show next week, or this week, whatever. The week of the 18th through 25th. I'll actually be like out of service, which is going to be interesting. Well, I'm trying to pull this closer to me. It's but we have a lot on the menu today. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be back on the show. If it's about to get spicy with this when the whole NFL season starts, man, it's gonna be good. That's something I want to talk about before we hop into this. I'm thinking about like transitioning this show. It's gonna be, I'm still gonna do a live stream. Maybe. I want to, Anchor, good podcast program. Shouts out to them, by the way. I want to, start branching out maybe and doing more. Let's hop into this. Damian Lillard, very interesting story here. Damian Lillard, there's been some back and forth. Oh, by the way, I'm super rusty. Okay, follow me on Twitter. Emmit Nosey04. That is my handle. Emmit EMMIT Nosey NOSEE, and the numbers 0 and the number 4. So Damian, all right, let's hop in. So I'm very weird about this whole audio. All right, Damian Lillard. There's been a lot of buzz these past couple months ever since Damian Lillard was in the Portland Trailblazers were eliminated from the first round of the NBA playoffs to the crippled Denver Nuggets. They were eliminated in 6 games. I'm a Blazers fan, so you could get some, This might be a little biased because I'm a big Blazers fan, big Dame fan, and I have some thoughts on this obviously, and it's a big story. So here's what happened. Obviously we've seen this rumor a couple times now. This one everyone was just starting to freak out more. Damian Lillard, I believe it was Chris Haynes who broke it like 3 weeks ago that Damian Lillard could want out of Portland after the Chauncey Billups hiring. And then people were starting to blame the GM and the front office, which we'll get to that in a minute. There's also speculation when Damian Lillard made the comments. I talked about this back about a month and a half ago when the Nuggets got eliminated. There's also comments of him being like, I don't know, something about, I don't know what this blank, where I'm going to be, something along those lines, make it question his future. I didn't believe he was going to get traded. I was a little worried. This time, listening to his media availability, I'm not worried at, all right, we're gonna jump into this. Damian Lillard Chris Haynes again. Chris Haynes, this guy is breaking all these stories. Yahoo's Chris Haynes, I believe, is who broke Damian Lillard wanted to get a trade. I can double check that real quick on Twitter. Cause I'm not too sure who broke it. But he broke this. I believe it was Chris Haynes. Basically broke the story today, the early morning. I was still asleep when this broke. That Damian Lillard could he could want out of Portland. Let's go. Chris Haynes' Twitter. He's like, yeah, Damian Lillard could want out of Portland, and Damian Lillard went later in the day on his media availability, which is supposed to be for Team USA, and okay. I'm trying to find the story. He goes on and he's like, yeah, no, I don't know, he doesn't know his future, and I think there's some. Oh, wow. We're on another story here. The play-in tournament. Where's... I think it was Chris Haynes who broke that story. I don't have someone, look it up for me to correct me. I don't have a producer. I can't yell and be like, hey, go look this up. But it doesn't matter. Point is, Damian Lillard, reports are he wanted out of Portland, due to he wants to win it all. We're going to start out with my thoughts on this, and then what teams do I think Damian should go to, and what should the Blazers do? Maybe it's time for a change, all right? Damian Lillard, I'm going to start by saying this. Better point guards, Blazers need to keep him. Do I think he's going to get traded? Personally, I think he's going to stay. The way he handled his media day today was, very... He wasn't calling anyone out. There were some hints dropped in there that, hey, maybe if something goes wrong, I want out of here. Just maybe, alright? Okay. Yeah. He's just like, okay, maybe I want out of here. Something goes wrong. And, he wants to win. Can't blame the guy. I don't think the trade's going to happen this year. It's my same thing with Russell Wilson. I could see, this would be more long for Damian Lillard. Oh, actually, I can find this story. Hold on. I didn't even think about this. I think it's going to be a more drawn out thing with Damian Lillard. I don't see a trade in the future because Damian Lillard is very, very locked in to the Portland Trailblazers. Where do I think Damian should go is a whole different thing. I think Damian Lillard, I'll give you my top three. And we'll kind of angle this out both teams here. If a trade were to happen, if I were to set the odds of a Damian Lillard trade, if I was a betting man, what is the percentage of Damian Lillard getting traded? I'm going to put the odds at 20%. I'm not, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm not going to put it out of possibility. Because, it's just after next year, you just don't know. He seems very confident in Chauncey, which is definitely a good sign. He seems very, very confident with Chauncey Billups, which is a good thing. or the questions in his media availability was, does he agree that with this new coach, they could, turn it around? And he did. I don't know how I feel about that. I actually do think some moves need to be done. And I actually have, a perfect scenario for that. We're going to get into that after I do the top 3 teams I think Damian Lillard should go to. This is, very, a lot of people agree with these. These are kind of the teams, but I think, this would be the best. And we're not going to go off, in the future. We're going to go, if something changed right now, and Damian Lillard actually did request a trade, because the reason why I'm saying it's only a 20% chance of happening was because he did seem a little skeptical during his press conference. He seemed almost like he's focused on the Olympics, and after that he'll maybe rethink it. I still think, Damian Lillard's a loyal guy, and he's ultimately going to stick with the Blazers, but there's still it's in the realm. That's why I'm getting a 20% chance. We're going to go number 1 here. If we're going right now, number 1 team that I like for both sides is the Golden State Warriors. And I like this for both sides. We're going to start with the Warriors' point of view. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson aren't getting any younger. What you could do is you can move one of them over to the 3. Klay Thompson will move over the small forward position, obviously. It would be Green, power forward. I don't know who'd play the center, because the trade would most likely, from what I've seen, be James Wiseman, and a couple of first round draft picks. 3 teams is gonna go to. I just messed that up. Okay. I just think this is a perfect trade for the Warriors, because Curry not getting any younger, Klay not getting any younger. Klay's coming off of 2 severe injuries. You don't know how he's gonna perform. And for you to secure this, right? Secure another all-star player, so you kind of have your big 3 again. Got Curry at the point, Lillard at the 2, Thompson at the 3, Green at the 4, something along those lines. That could be a go-getter team in the Western Conference, and Damian Lillard wants to win. So that's one of them. Let's look at this side view, or this trade from the Portland Trailblazers side of view. It's going to be Andrew Wiggins, who very inconsistent player. He's an player. He kind of has a crappy contract, but you get Andrew Wiggins, who's serviceable. You get James Wiseman, who's a young center, who can, he has potential to be a good center in this league, I feel, and you're going to get some first-round picks. That is the route of, hey, do the Blazers want to completely just rebuild the team? Do they want to be in for a crappy couple of years? Number 2 here of the 3 trade offers that I have, that I've seen in 3 teams that I could see him going to. Not really see him going to, but I worded that horribly. I'm rusty. Okay, but we don't need to talk about that. Number 2, Los Angeles Clippers. With this trade would be more. We're gonna start with the Blazers' point of view. Is you flip your point guard. It's gonna be more of okay. One. Now I actually talked about this on the podcast a while ago. I believe it was like my 3rd show. Robert Guerra and Jason McIntyre on Straight Fire talked about this, and I was like, I kind of bashed the trade. Honestly, I like the Wiseman trade more than this trade, because these are the 2 trades I go with the most. The 3rd trade, I'm gonna look into it as Damian Lillard's point of view, but I'm gonna kind of flip it around here. But the Clippers, they send over Paul George and they get Damian Lillard. What this would mean is the Trailblazers are, it's just gonna be, hey, we're gonna be going for the sixth, seventh, eighth seed, playing tournament type stuff for a couple years, for a while. We're still gonna be a solid team in the Western Conference. CJ McCollum's still a good player. I like CJ, but I'm gonna have to say something about him in my last trade, but we'll get to that. All right. And for the Clippers, they get, I think the Clippers, they were so close to winning without Kawhi Leonard this year, and Damian Lillard is obviously better than Paul George. So if you're a Clipper person, then you just why not, right? I mean, Kawhi's gonna be out for a little bit. Damian Lillard can kind of carry the load, come back, if you sneak in the playoffs, I mean, y'all still do good. This Western Conference is gonna be wild next year. Obviously, I think the reason I said 3 is the Laker apologists. I would not like this trade, but Damian Lillard goes to the Lakers. I don't know what the things would be. It's not going to happen. I give it a 1% chance of happening. If it happens, I will do something crazy on the show. It's not happening. It just sour cap won't work out. But here's the trade that I am going to shut down. Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons. And I'm actually going to reverse here, all right? I'd be happy with Simmons, but I don't want to trade Lillard. Here's why. Simmons can't shoot the ball for beans. He's a crappy shooter, which you need in this NBA. But if you could somehow keep Norman Powell, who he had a very solid, very good year last year. Trade Gary Trent for him. I was a little salty about it at first, but now I kind of grown to like it, seeing how Norman Powell performed in the playoffs. Norman Powell, who knows? You might not need CJ McCollum. Ben Simmons can defend. He's one of the better, he's a good defender. He's crap on the offensive end. I hope he can improve. I really do. But what Ben Simmons is going to do for you is get you, amount of points, some rebounds, and dish the ball and set up the offense. This would take stress off Damian Lillard's game. Damian Lillard does not. All you have to think about this. Just run your offense like Ben Simmons is going to be setting things up, but you can run it around like Lillard, Powell, Yusuf Nurkic. And I think something could. There could be something done with that. Trade CJ McCollum over the Sixers. Joel Embiid gets a nice shooter to go with Tobias Harris and that team over there. The Blindside Sports, Emmit Douglas, with you. We are coming to you on this Friday, July 16th. Barry Sanders' birthday, by the way. I didn't know that. I was listening to Fox Sports Radio earlier. This next story is actually that was one of the longest times I've talked about a story here. With that whole Damian Lillard thing. We talked about this for like 15 minutes. We ranted about that. But I don't know if you guys saw this report. Actually, we're gonna move that down one spot. It's Blindside Sports, Emmit Douglas with you. Get me on Twitter, EmmittNoC04. I actually saw this trying to find the story. I don't know how this skipped my research today. But apparently, the play-in tournament is going to get, let's pull up Woj's Twitter again. Apparently, they want to play the play-in tournament again. I, personally, a lot of people didn't like it, or were crapping on it for no reason, in my opinion. Personally, I thought it added some more interest, to the league. So they agreed to play in, and obviously, at first I was a little skeptical last year, but I kind of I just didn't understand how it worked, and as we grew more towards it, I was more excited for it. I think it's gonna be a very interesting thing because Western Conference is gonna be crazy next year. Eastern Conference, everyone's gonna be back to full health. At least I hope. So it's just gonna be crazy to see, everyone coming back at like a full strength. There's these some teams who last year, could have been the playoff or were in the playoffs, and they might follow the play-in tournament. I think the play-in tournament has potential, and the ratings are actually looking decent on the play-in tournament, so why not keep it? Tom Brady. This is a cool story, and people were kind of talked about in the media, but not talked about in the media. Was Tom Brady. This report came out yesterday that he was playing with a torn MCL. I believe it was partially torn, but he, Tom Brady plays a partially torn MCL. All right, or it might have been full. But the thing is, say what you want to say about Tom Brady. Cheater. He's gotten lucky. But to me, this shows a couple things. This shows, hey, look, screw you, all these haters who think I'm not gonna do nothing in Tampa Bay. That's one thing it shows. Second of all, it shows this man is dedicated. This guy he's so dedicated to the game of football that he okay, that was weird. I got a text there, and it was from a Gmail thing and a bunch of random numbers I don't recognize. That was weird. Okay. So it just shows that Tom Brady, he's there for you. If you're Tom Brady's teammate, he is there. One of the most dedicated players in the NFL, and you have to give this guy props for, he's been taking the beating of the NFL for a long time now, and come out injured with a torn MCL, partially torn, as a 44 or 43-year-old male. He was 43 at the time. I don't think he's turned 44 yet, actually. And you play a full NFL season, win the Super Bowl, and it didn't really stop him. To me, that just shows playing up dedication to your franchise and makes him one of the better he's already the GOAT, I think, but it just locks it down even more. What an absolute legend. All right. Coming out next on Blindside Sports, we are going to jump into the NBA Finals. All right. First couple games went to the Suns, and the Bucks didn't really look, First game, Giannis, he got points, but he wasn't like, the going off Giannis in game one. And the Suns had it. The Suns clearly looked like the better team in the first couple games, and they kind of face-planted. Game two, Chris Middleton had a bad night. Giannis went off. I think if Chris Middleton would have had, instead of like 11 points, if he would have had more than that, I think that would have been an easy win for the Bucks. Game three, Bucks won. Game four, Bucks won. The Suns face planted. It wasn't a good game for them. Chris Paul had like 10 points. And I still think the Suns are gonna pull out and win this series in 6 games. I think Chris Paul is gonna improve his skills. I think he's gonna win this for his legacy. And this is a question I'm gonna propose here. Was Chris Paul given the spotlight a little too early? Was Chris Paul, you know, was he getting, the congratulations too early? And that answer is, of course. Let me explain this to you. As the Suns have made the finals, Giannis Antetokounmpo went down with a MCL, or not MCL, no, hyperextended knee. He went down with a pretty bad injury. I mean, it did not look good. Everyone was, we're saying torn ACL, this stuff, this and that. I can't see, so I don't, hence the name of the show, I don't know, like, the specifics on how, the injury happened. Like, I know it was gnarly. Hyperextensions usually take 2 weeks to heal. And he was out for a week. He comes game 1 of the finals, and it was weird. He was, doubtful and then questionable in game time in playing in the span of 24 hours. And what I think my conspiracy theory, or theory on this whole thing is, what I think happened is Giannis, without Giannis, this has been an easy series. I don't think people expected, Giannis to come back and look like 100%. Like, he did not skip a beat. He hasn't skipped a beat this whole series. He's looked like the Giannis Antetokounmpo that we've all, seen. The Greek Freak. Fear the Deer. All right, he's been busting. He's been going absolutely crazy in the paint, dude. He has been having a fun time over here, dude. All right. And I think, people are kind of writing it off as easy dub for the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul was like, he saw those comments. He's like, he agreed with them. So he kind of stepped his game down a little bit. And I think he kind of, especially after they went 2-0, he's like, yeah, we got this. Now they're down to 0-2. I think he's going to, or now it's 2-2. We have ourselves a series. Now I think Chris Paul's going to really, step it up, put it in high gear, and have himself a banger of a series. So, something I want to propose here. In sports media, I don't know why I want to bring this as a story. I don't know, I was just desperate for stories, and I haven't done a show in a while. I guess that's what it is. Who is the best guy in the sports media? And now, Renaissance men, can do it all. I'm gonna throw you out a couple names here. First of all, we're going to start out with Colin Cowherd. I don't get why he hates Baker Mayfield the way he does. The hell was that? But you have to admit, he knows his stuff, first of all. He is very consistent on his takes, nice dude. He's like a real estate god, He does TV. He launched the Volume podcast, does the NFL, Fox pregame show on Sunday mornings. He's just, a do-it-all type of guy, and all around good, I'm not really a big TV sports guy, but he's bearable. I actually listen to his show. I don't know why I threw this story in here. Colin Cowherd, Dan Patrick, obviously one of the greats. And, honestly, probably, Cowherd, Patrick, Also, he's not really a TV guy, I guess, but he's already like a show. That's what I'm gonna say. But Al Michaels was goats in sports media, like commentating, um, and I also think who I'm starting to really mess with like a lot of these dudes though. Like I'm really starting, invest into the media. But another guy who say what you want to say about this guy's takes, they're bizarre, they're goofy, but the guy's good. Rob Parker, he, you know, let's see, let's go through Rob's stuff. He used to be a writer, transitions to radio. He does TV. He does a podcast, a couple podcasts. He does the Inside the Parker podcast. He does MLBBro.com, talking about black and brown baseball players. He also writes columns for Deadspin. What else does Rob do? I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything because this guy is he teaches at USC. Am I missing anything? TV, writing, MLB Bro, podcast. No, but that is the guy is an absolute ball. Like he is just doing his thing, and that it's just wilding to me. A couple things here. I think next week we're going to be adding, it's going to be a lot longer of a show because I want to add some new things. I didn't do the reacting to the media this week. I didn't really plan that. I want to add something like what the hell moments or something like that. I don't know exactly what's going to be called, but it's going to be bizarre stories, We're going to do one in the sporting world if we can find one. And then we're going to kind of scrap out to bizarre headlines on the internet, like something like Florida Man. Not really Florida Man every time, but like drunk man does this. Just to have some fun in the show. And also, there's some other things I want to toy with. I'm just trying to work, at that. I try to figure out how it's gonna work, The media reaction thing, I have that figure out how it's gonna work. I have the gist of the weird stories. I just need to figure out a good title for it that's unique. Maybe I'll reach out to y'all on Twitter and make a poll of stuff that I think of in a couple days. Just to add some, depth to the show. Maybe I'll talk about something outside of the world of sports. I'm trying to branch out, all right? But last story here, Shohei Ottani. He is a lot of buzz going around Shohei Ohtani. And personally, I think he's deserving. I'll say he didn't win the home derby. But the dude is an absolute unit. He basically is doing his thing. Like he's doing his he's a starting pitcher and he's good at pitching. And he's also a designated hitter. And the thing I posed in this is, should he be maybe the new face of baseball? And I put future in the description because, a couple years, whatever, could be a fluke. I personally think he should, by about 2024, if he keeps his pace up, then definitely, take a look at it. Definitely, I could see him being the face of baseball. Blindside Sports, Emmit Douglas. Thanks to everyone for listening. Thanks to people who like the stream, subscribe, me, the producer, me, the everything, me, thanks to you guys. Quick couple favors of you. I'm trying to grow this thing. Tweet the podcast out. Share with your friends. Retweet my stuff. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on my post notifications. Because there's gonna be some updates coming about the show. I don't know. It's just we'll have to record 2 different episodes because I'm trying to branch out. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the show. Thanks to you guys. Like the stream, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'll try and figure out how to link those in the description. But